What's up, everybody? Sparrowwood again here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. I hope this episode finds you all happy and healthy, although I know a lot of us are kind of stuck indoors at the moment. Although for some of us, it's not as difficult to stay inside and by yourself, but it's that cough, you know. Anyways, so we're starting things off today with a little bit of a different type of ship. This is the GADFLY. Now, it's kind of an all-around purpose ship type of thing, and the description actually reads pretty funny. I wasn't expecting it, but the description was actually pretty comical because it was like the drill arm works sometimes, and if you do, you know, it's like, you know, just stuff like that. So it was really kind of a comical read. But I kind of like the look of the ship. It has this kind of like a fly type of thing. You use the solar panels as wings and things, but I like little things. The placement of the hydrogen thrusters in these kind of like pods between the solar panels is a cool way of doing things. So I saw a couple little minute things that I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's different. Even something like this, of placing the antenna but using the ramps so it doesn't just look like a hole in the armor kind of thing. Pretty clever, I have to admit. So I wanted to show it off a little bit because I don't do a whole lot of small ships that much. Mainly because it's hard to do 3 builds in an episode. It ends up being like a 10-minute episode or something because you're like, well, that's the ship. There isn't always a whole lot of interior. But yeah, this one just kind of looked cool. It was just something that caught my eye. I do like this style too. I like these, I'm going to call them thruster frames from now on, because I just thought of that, and I really don't have a better explanation or term for them. So that's what I'm going to call them, is thruster frames. Because so often you put thrusters down and they're just kind of there, you know, but in real ships and things, there's either supports or there's braces or whatever that add that little extra layer of realism kind of thing. Now, I will say, this has a crap ton of hydrogen thrusters. I mean, hydrogen tanks. Well, it actually has a crap ton of thrusters, too. I'm kind of guessing this is gonna be a very hydrogen-heavy ship. Because on top of that, I think I spied with my little eye, yeah, these are all hydrogen engines too. So there's a lot of hydrogen going on in this ship. So that's kind of one of those interesting aspects. Another interesting aspect that I didn't think was that interesting at first is the door. Because as you might notice, it's hard to kind of find. Now, some of us are more door challenged than others, so, I mean, do with that what you will. But for those of you that are not door challenged, you may have already noticed the door here. And as I got looking at it, I was kind of like, well, why are there all these pistons and whatnot? So I'm kind of excited to open this door and see how it works. Now, this is almost 100% guaranteed not to be the way you're supposed to open this, because there's buttons here and there's instructions, and I think we all know how that goes for me. Interior airlock open and close, airlock pressure toggle, and exterior airlock open. There's an airlock in this? It did say it was sealed, but airlocks are rare on a small ship. Alright, so I guess exterior? I'm going to toggle the pressure first. I'm trying to do this the right way. It's just not going to happen. Oh. Now, why is that piston there, though, I wonder? Or is that just a block thing to give it the right block count? So that's kind of cool. You've got a ladder here, and if I could land on top of this thing, then you got a little ramp that leads in. That's pretty cool, and it has a merge block to fully seal it, which is always cool. I like that. We have the pressure set, so then we'll toggle the door. Is that going to hit me in the head? I guess not. It kind of looks like it was going to hit me in the head. Stupid mag boots. Alright. So then we would repressurize? Is that a word? Repressurize? Okay. And the interior airlock door. Okay, so there's a merge block for that one too. Why can't I move? Oh. Oh, sure. Now the mag boots don't want to work. Stupid things. In the next patch, I really want a developer to fix the mag boots. They're just so janky. Alright, exterior open close, interior... Oh no, that's pressure. Never mind. We want that. Where's... Oh, there it is. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. That's pretty neat. You don't often see a fully working airlock. It looks very complicated. I'm kind of confused on that front, but I'm sure it had to be... I'm sure there was a lot of trial and error there where it didn't work right or something. So again, being that this is a fairly small, compact ship, there's not a whole lot of interior to explore. There's an awful lot of timer blocks, which I'm guessing is the airlock control. We have a survival kit. Looks like a couple of oxygen tanks next to oxygen generators, I'm guessing. And according to the description, a lot of batteries, although I've only seen one, so I'm not sure if that's comical or not. That's kind of a... time will tell, I suppose. I don't know about you guys, I can't really read that too well from here. The font's a little small for me, and I can't seem to get past these chairs to get in to read it, so that's good. So we're just gonna wing it. Drill... boom safety, instruction. Gosh, I really cannot read that very well. Also, I blame the font and stuff in this game. It's always somewhat hard to read for some reason. Screw it. We're just not going to mess with the drill arm too much other than push buttons, but if it breaks, it's on me. We've got an ore detector, oxygen generators, hydrogen engine, blah, 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 batteries, chain guns, thruster control, remote control for the drill arm. That's probably what we're looking for. Okay, so if we take control of the drill arm, what do we get? We have the drills, a camera, drill arm pistons on and reverse, a gyroscope. That seems interesting. Drill arm. There's 2 rotor controls. Okay. So if we extend the drill arm... Let's check the camera. That's just right on there, but I kind of want... Can I... Okay, I can kind of look at it from out here. I wasn't sure if I could get a good angle from it. I don't see... Oh, okay. So this is something that I've actually wanted to do for a while and never could figure out how, so this might be something I'll have to look into myself. So... There's rotors on there, but I wonder if that allows it to actually... rotate down. Maybe that's what the gyroscopes are for. Is that a rotor lock? I think it might be. Guessing... Yeah, okay, so the 8 and 9 controls are a rotor lock. So that would let you do that. And if you turn that one on and then this, can you rotate? I don't know what the second one is for. I would think it'd be to rotate it, but I can't seem to get it to rotate. Interesting. So then when you had that where you wanted it, you could then turn the gyroscopes off and drill. Well, that's pretty cool. So you got a multi-directional drill there. And actually, if I could get that second rotor to work, I'm probably doing something wrong. It might actually rotate and stuff to where you could do horizontal. I'm not sure. That's just speculation on my part. Anyway. But that's pretty cool overall. I like the ingenuity there. It's kind of different. Alright, so let's then get back into the main seat, and as that comes back, let's play around with how it flies. Now, according to the description, I'm going to call baloney on the description, because the description says it flies like, I believe it uses the term a wet sheep. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure... Oh, excuse me, I just double-checked. A soggy sheep. I've never seen a soggy sheep fly, but I don't feel like it's much of a stretch to think that that's a way of saying it flies poorly. Now, the one thing I will say is a little on the sluggish side is rotation. It does not rotate very quickly, so if you're needing to change your rotation axis, not going to go very quick. Acceleration, though, seems pretty great, and the gyroscopes respond fairly well. So overall, it's a nice little ship. kind of like it, actually. So I think that's going to do it for this one, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the Behemoth Battlecruiser, or Behemoth class Battlecruiser, excuse me. Now, this is actually an interesting one, because I was fairly sure that I've seen a ship design like this before, but as I look at it a little closer, it was slightly different. So this, they said in the description it was, I believe, at least loosely based on a StarCraft ship, which might be why I feel like I've seen something similar. The one that I remember, I think it was even in the Inspiration series, had a big modded cannon in the thing here, so the ship was actually much larger, but it had this kind of hammerhead type design, so maybe they were also basing it off of a StarCraft model. I'm not sure. But again, whenever somebody says based on, and I've never actually like played the game or seen the ship up close, then I always reference it with at least loosely, because I don't know how accurate it is, or was it just inspired, and you know, then you kind of go from there. So yeah, this looks really cool. I believe this one is actually modless. It does have the DLC in it, or at least some of it, but I don't think it has any mods in it. So this looks like a typical projector-based warhead system set up here, which is pretty cool. Now, one thing, according to some of the screenshots and like the description type setup, is these guys look pretty intense. Because they're kind of like custom turrets, but they can be controlled via rotors, and so you can kind of point them at different directions, it looked like. And these large grid rocket launchers put out a really high amount of firepower from what I've seen. Now, some of you guys may know better than I will, because I honestly have not played this in multiplayer seriously before. I think the only time I was in multiplayer was with bass player KG and Adrian Wannafly when we were recording, and Caden Red Pearl when we were recording stuff for Dog Squad. But as far as actually like got on a server and played like a, you know, an actual survival playthrough or something, I've never actually played multiplayer before. Mainly because up until a few, like when they released it from early access and stuff, then the multiplayer networking side of things was kind of janky kind of thing. But anyways, I really like these view thing. I actually really like this ship now that I'm kind of getting a better view of it. I think I'm really growing to appreciate the clean texture on from the DLC. I thought kind of the regular one was fine, but after seeing the clean texture, there's an element of polish to that makes it look a little bit more pristine and a little nicer. So I'm kind of gravitating towards it. I do like the color too. But the use of these glass panes is really cool, that instead of using the ramps and glass horizontally, using them vertically to give like a bigger window. Really nice touch. And these, whoever built this is a person after my own heart. They put couches right next to the big windows so you can look at space comfortably. That's my jam. I also do want to make a note/apology for that first build, that if I was really loud or anything like that, I didn't notice it for some reason, but my microphone was a lot closer to my face than it usually is when I'm recording, and I don't know how I missed that because it was really close to my face. But so if I came in a little bit too strongly or loudly or something, I apologize for that. One thing I will say with this ship, it looks really cool, especially the exterior and stuff. I am getting a little turned around. There are signs everywhere, but just the way the ship is laid out is very unconventional. It's kind of like you expect certain things after a while from ships that you would just think, oh, okay, a bridge is going to be towards the top and towards the back, and so it's like some of these locations I'm seeing, like main bridge and underdeck. Is that meaning it's this way, or is this the underdeck and the right side, or the upper was... See, that's what I mean. I'm just confused. I'm just lost. I'm going to say this is the underdeck, because it's, well, under everything else, and it looks to be more of an observation area. Oh, that's a cool way to place a jukebox. It's kind of upside down, but A little less of a profile, I suppose. So let's test the sign theory here, that this should lead to the main bridge, then, if I read that correctly. So I was kind of headed that way anyway. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking this was more the CIC room, but I didn't look over here far enough to see the actual bridge. By the way, I have not used them super effectively, but stuff like this is really cool, of like separation of different scripts and things, and using a clear, transparent LCD for speed readouts and whatnot. Really cool. Although this looks like it might be a special... Oh, no, I'm a dum-dum. Never mind. The reason there's no horizon line is because you're in space, I'm guessing. Right? So the question... Yeah, artificial horizon. So it's the same thing. You just don't have a horizon anymore. So don't mind me. I'm just silly. Oh, that's cool. How did they do that? So that should be the bottom right screen. Text and images. Where is... It says loaded textures, so that must be a script handled, maybe? All of these are running scripts, so that's got to be... Because they have their logo here, which is really cool. I like that. But I was trying to figure out how they had that loaded in. It's probably through a script or something. Anyway, I've been working with these different screens because I've been trying to get ready for an official launch of the 102 series, so I've been playing around with how to access these screens on the cockpits, because that's something new that I'm sure people want to know how to do if they don't already. So yeah, this is pretty cool. What else is there, though? Did we look at everything? Can we go this way? We did. Okay. And this ship is a little bit hard to judge because it looks a little bit bigger on the outside because of the size of the design of the ship. I feel like we already went this way. Nope. Never mind. Did not go this way. It's like the reactor room here. But yeah, at the same time, because it's a bit smaller than the ship that I originally remembered thinking was a similar design, I don't really know how much of it... Wait, this is the main bridge? No. I'm confused. What just happened? Oh, is that sign saying main bridge is that way, maybe? Don't mind me, I just have to learn how to read signs. Oh, okay, so we have a cryo chamber up here. I almost missed this. Now, this is cool. They actually use the decorative blocks and turn the medbay cryo chamber into a lab, because we have all the lab equipment here, which is pretty cool. So that's neat. I like that added little touch. Oh yeah, and see, they got the thing here as well. That's pretty cool. Interesting. I'll have to look into more of the custom texture thing. I never really played around with that too much, but I should do that on some of my builds. Alright, so let's go ahead. What does this do? Anything? Grid blueprint? What? Oh, blueprint. Okay. Blueprint is not normally 2 words, so it confused me. Leave me alone. Yeah. Blueprint. Yeah. I'm just gonna go see how the ship flies. We're just gonna move on. Alright, timer block. Gravity gun. That sounds fun. Camera 2 view. I'm guessing that's gravity cannon. Gravity cannon welders. Gravity cannon projector. Alert status. Alert stop. Open hangar doors. LG spotlights. Piston. Wait. Oh, landing gear. Piston. Okay. I was like, what do we have pistons for? What did I miss? So this does have atmospheric thrusters. So that does imply that it can do atmospheres as well as space. We've got a jump drive, gravity generator main. Mostly just controls here that I'm not going to worry too much about. That's just maintenance for controlling the ship. So we want to fire the gravity cannon. May play around with the landing gears. I think that's pretty much it. Then we'll just test the movement. So if we hit this and then we fire, so that's one of the gravity-based warhead type setups, which is really cool. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to test it on, so it's not going to be very, it's not going to have much of a bang. Yeah, anyway. So let's see here. Oh, there's a nice ramp there at the back, too, that I totally missed. Also, wait, how do you control those rocket launchers? That's the other thing that I don't see in here now that I'm looking at it. It said they were... I think it said they were rotor slave rocket launchers. Oh, designator controls. There they are. Okay. Wait a minute. Where am I here? Where am I at in relation to the ship? Okay, there's the front. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, if we move this one around, this guy moves. Oh. Oh, well that's weird. Why am I firing a chain gun and not firing the rockets? I guess they are a designator, so it's not a fire, but why am I not actually firing them? That's interesting. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're maybe sensor or script controlled, but then you have a designator to actually point them at different things. That's going to be my answer for that. So apparently I can't actually test the firing capabilities of them, unfortunately. Alright, now where's the landing gears? Okay, so we have 2 in the front. I'm guessing... Oh, there's 2 on the side wings. There they are. Okay. And that lines up with that. So that's just something you extend to lock the front in. Cool. Alright, now lastly, let's see how she flies. Now it's got quite a few hydro thrusters back here, so actually the acceleration and deceleration is... This is actually a really responsive ship for a big battleship type vehicle. So it actually moves really well. I really like it. This is a pretty cool ship overall. I really like it's very multi-purpose, so very, very well done. With that, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Let's move on to the last one. And last but not least, we have a very interesting ship here that I'm going to have a difficult time pronouncing. I believe it's like Betelgeuse? It's the BTG. Let's just go with that. The name is written in the description just because I can't say it. You still can find it. So as you can tell, this is a spherical ship, and it's really interesting in terms of both execution and concept to me, because oftentimes you don't really see that many sphere and or round shape ships, stations, whatever. There's some, but they're definitely few and far between by comparison to the basic way that you build most ships and stations. But what I found intriguing about this was that it not only had a pretty decent defense look to it, but it also has a pretty cool looking interior. That there's actually a really neat cutout in the description file. The first screenshot is like a cutout diagram of where everything is and stuff. So if I get lost or can't figure it out, it's on me. Is the basics of that. But as you can see, there's some welder things for repairing the weapon systems. There's actually quite a few weapon systems on here. And I believe there's a air quote deck or top layer, if you will, that's entirely armor plating just to help it be more tanky. So it's actually a pretty interesting ship. I just entered through the torpedo bay. That's what I just did. I was so proud of myself that I had looked over and I just found a door. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to pad the runtime or anything to get the door open. I had just found a door. But nay, is the torpedo bay doors. Oh, me and doors do not get along well. Also, I'm kind of wondering Ah, here we go. Here's the actual airlock. Because I was like, there's hangar doors, but I don't see an actual control to open the hangar doors. So very cool gravity shift there, which is pretty neat. Always like the way that you can manipulate gravity in this game. So we enter into the what looks like the conveyor system. There's also some oxygen generators and stuff here. So if we come up this way, we have a stairwell. What goes in this? I'm going to kind of try and go layer by layer. I feel like that'll be easier. Obviously, this is the hangar door on the two sides of the ship that we saw earlier that I couldn't get the door to open. And I could have actually gone through the torpedo bay. That's good to know, because there is a maintenance type door for the torpedo bay. Well, that's convenient. Wish I had known that. Oh well. So that's what that layer's for. So it's basically weapon maintenance and hangar type thing. We have a couple oxygen or hydrogen tanks there. It goes this way. This looks like it's off the beaten path. We have a jump drive breakdown. I'm guessing this is kind of engineering slash maintenance, because you can get to the reactors and the hydrogen tank and so on. So that's my guess. I don't really know. Let's see, we've got a programmable block here with a vent. I'm guessing it could be a sort of airlock, if you will. We have a CDC, or CDC, no, that's a different room. This is the CIC. It's remarkable what one letter can do. They said go to the CIC. Why are you in quarantine? I thought you said CDC. So we have a projector. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I think this is the ship, but it has a button for, yeah, projector ship, and then there's a projector solar system. So, activation failed. Okay. Well, at least we have that. Let's leave that there before we break anything. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is probably the main cockpit, though you have one here and one here. Oh, I see. So one is kind of for vertical flight, like this now becomes the forward thrust, and you're making use of these bigger engines. But if you were like lifting off from planet, then that would make it that way. That's pretty neat. So rather than changing the orientation of the ship or having to rotate it, you can just change which cockpit you're using. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty clever way to handle that. Did not think about that. Most of the time you just turn the ship, but that would actually allow you to keep from having to do that. You could just change the seat that you're in, and all of a sudden the ship is flying from a different direction. That's pretty cool. I believe it said there was 4 decks to this ship. The 5th one is the dedicated armor layer. So we have the med bay, cryo chamber here, and beds, in case anyone needs them. And what goes this way? This looks like another stairwell. So where does this connect up to? Does this just go back to the last layer? Okay, it does. So I think that's all there is in the interior. I don't think there's other rooms, but yeah, that's pretty neat overall. I really like that. I also like, I'm guessing part of the reason that the programmable block and vent is here is it makes the bridge kind of a dedicated pressurized space that even if the rest of the ship got damaged, you could keep the cockpit and the bridge area pressurized. I'm guessing that's kind of what it's for. So let's see, what are our controls here? We've got a camera for A view. I'm guessing there's a B view. Silo doors are closed. Welders for reload. Or wait, welders reload. Maybe that's reloading the welders with material. Cruise missiles. So that's going to be those torpedoes, I believe. turret controls, self-repairs, jump drive antenna, spotlights, thrusters, connectors, merge block, aft airlock. Oh, okay, so that's actually got a merge block holding it there. That's interesting. Parachutes probably for landing. And that looks to be about it. So, that's easy enough. And we've got our... wow, that's trippy. It's like an actual 3D space on a 2D screen. That's weird. That's really weird. Alrighty. Depends on which way you're using the axes, whatever. I'm not really sure which way is the correct up and down. But if you're flying this way, it accelerates super quick. Now this it is capable of flying in the atmosphere, but the description does make a point to say that you're going to be at a disadvantage to dedicated atmospheric ships because it's going to be able to basically move, but not wonderfully. So it actually moves really well, though. This would probably be kind of a force to be reckoned with, in all honesty, because you've got a lot of different weapons, and this front layer is supposedly all armor, just to protect the ship overall. So if you're flying this way, this might actually be a pretty tough little ship. So anyways, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Oh, one other thing I did want to mention is I had just finished playing Doom Eternal personally, and I gotta admit, shout out to all of the builders that watch the series. Somebody has got to build the Doom Fortress, or Fortress of Doom, or whatever it's called. That place is so cool that all I could think of was somebody needs to build this in Space Engineers, because it reminded me of all those Warhammer builds that I've seen many, many times. So, just a quick note, if you guys are builders, want a big project, you're bored, stuck at home anyways, so might as well, right? I would love to see a Fortress of Doom, like, really detailed and all that. That would be crazy. That would be awesome. Anyways, so just a fun little fact. I knew I was forgetting something, but with that, we're going to wrap things up here for today. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.